Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Arun Singh Thakur from University Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management, Punjab University, Chandigarh. Today we are going to discuss about the module Dark Tourism from the paper Special Interest Tourism. This module will help the students to know about the status of dark tourism in India and potential historical places for dark tourism in India and the initiatives to promote the dark tourism as well. After reading this module, students, you will be able to know about the dark tourism in India, the potential historical places for dark tourism in India, initiatives taken or that can be taken to promote to dark tourism in India. So let us start. As we know that dark tourism deals with the visits and different tour and travel activities to the places concerned with the mass level deaths, murders and enormous casualties of soldiers or peoples during the wars. India is a big country with an even bigger population. Almost 1 in every 5 people in the world is Indian, have a great diversity and long and elaborate history, including a prolonged period of the British colonization. The latter and the struggle for the independence provide the majority of heritage sites that are of dark tourism interest today. But there are also more contemporary and at least equally grim dark heritage sites related to the modern politics. For example, Bagha, as well as the Bhopal gas tragedy. Now, we will discuss the dark tourism in India. In India, tourism is considered as a fast growing industry in the world, which also gives its contribution in the economy of the countries from and to the tourist travels. India is a tourist paradise because of its rich heritage, the religious spots, museums, snow-capped mountains and joyous festivals. Tourists travel with the excitement and exploration for a new place and for the recreation, adventure, religious and educational purposes. Although there are many influences that make tourists travel from one place to another, these influences are seen as the motivators. Motivators can be physical, interpersonal, prestige type, educational and cultural, relating to the relaxation, meeting new people, personal esteem and learning about the lifestyles at different locations respectively. Basically, tourism is of domestic, outbound and inbound forms and is of various types. Some of the types are cultural tourism, the religious tourism, dark tourism, adventure tourism, beach tourism, business tourism, etc. There is no doubt that a person is influenced by social and cultural activities or happenings. A tourist may get persuaded and one's perception of the traveling may relate to one's perception of the world. However, there are so many things or people from whom a traveler gets carried by and away. These inspirations work as motivation to travel a particular place. The environment and other activities makes a person to what he is. Not even two persons have the same psychological acceptance to something or someone. In other words, a person's demand depends upon the type of behavior and intellect that one carries. But what does it make the people to travel, no matter whether from the internal voice or the external influence? A person may feel deprived when his actual stage is different from his desired stage. This arises in a person the feeling of getting a need fulfilled so as to reach his desired stage. Similarly, a person who wants to have experience or entertainment instead would try to find a particular place to complete his wish. A spot that sounds attractive or appealing attracts tourists from the different places. It is the individual's requirement of tourist that where he wishes to go for entertainment, recreation, holiday, business, etc. The person fond of exploring the unexplored may be interested in knowing about what happened to the victims of a non happening or at haunted places by visiting that place and exploring it. These are those places on the globe that relate to the death, atrocity, disaster, tragedy, or destruction having sinister past that attract the tourist from the different parts of the world, and this forms the basis of term dark tourism. In other words, people traveling to various spots having dark history is termed as dark tourism or grief tourism. Further, we will discuss the places for dark tourism in India. Almost every type of tourism exists in India because of its diversity of cultures, festivals, religions, etc. The existence of dark tourism in India is not much known, but there are many spots in India that fit under the category of dark tourism attractions. And some of them are the Bhangad Fort in the state of the Rajasthan, built by Mansingh, is haunted place in India as it is considered to be cursed by a magician. Going to this place after sunset is strictly prohibited. Bhangad is one of the scariest, spookiest places and situated near a popular forest. It is approximately 90 kilometers from Jaipur and famous excursion spot near the capital city of Rajasthan. It is prohibited to enter the fort between 5 p.m. and 7 a.m. However, few people, especially college boys, girls, stand in the fort in order to have glimpses of fort at night and watch out for the haunted souls. They make their entries to the fort at night from the broken walls, and some of the groups do not leave the premises of the fort before 5 p.m. The second haunted place is the Kuldhara. It is a place again in Rajasthan where it is said that 83 villages lost their existence in just one night. This place is considered to be cursed by the villagers and there is no one living in the right now. Kuldhara village is promoted as haunted, abandoned village overnight centuries ago. The story reveals that the king of Jaisalmer had a liking for a daughter of village head who belongs to Brahmin family. They were against the will of the king and decided to vacate the village overnight. Some of the people argue that they have shifted towards the Jodhpur. One other reason is extreme drought conditions in the village that compelled them to vacate the villages. The third is on the 13th of April 1919, many people gathered at the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar as it was the day of Baisakhi, the main Sikh festival. On getting the information that crowd is supposed to gather in the garden, the British officer General Dyer ordered to shoot the people till the ammunition supply ended. The shooting continued for about 10 minutes and the whole ground was covered with the blood of people. Today it is seen as a memorial of those who sacrificed their lives. The next is the Dumas Beach, Surat in Gujarat. Is the beach covered with the black sand and various paranormal activities have been observed here. It is believed that the persons walking around the beach at night have been disappeared. This is also considered as a dark spot in India. Then another is the Three Kings Church in Goa. India is also famous for its church for the paranormal activities. It is believed that three kings killed each other so as to rule over the property of this church. And people believe that the spirits of these kings roam around in the premises of the church. Then comes the Mussoorie. Being a famous recreational destination for the tourist, is also a place where dark tourism exists. The Lambi Dehar mines in Mussoorie are spookiest place in India. Millions of workers died in the mine while working. Unusual deaths and activities have also been observed at this place. The another one is the Savoy Hotel at Mussoorie, is yet again a haunted place in India. Various unusual activities have been observed in this hotel also. This beautiful hill station has various hotels, but this hotel make the visitor to be scary of this place. Then comes a fishing hamlet 15 km away from Chennai is the Dutch cemetery in Pulicat, is a historical place also considered as a dark spot in India. The next is at the Shaniwar Bada fort in Pune. There is a belief that a prince was murdered and there have been various supernatural activities experienced by people nearby. So, because of these situations, this place is considered as a part of existence for the dark tourism in India. Hyderabad's notorious Ramoji Film City is one of the biggest and famous film cities of India, where there are various hotels, and in these hotels supernatural activities have been observed. Strange marks on the mirrors, the leftover food scattered around the room, and invisible forces tear one's clothes are some of the suspicious events that can observe occasionally. These activities make this place haunted and thus have a scope for dark tourism. After that, we will highlight some potential historical places for dark tourism in India. There are many other places that may haunt anyone and are serving as potential tourism resource for the dark tourism. There is the list of some places enumerated as: the first is the Amritsar with Jallianwala Bagh, the Bagha border crossing point, the Delhi Gandhi Smriti and the Nicholson Cemetery, Lucknow the Residency, Bhopal former Union Carbide plant, remembered the Bhopal Museum, abandoned Taj, etc. In India, there are numerous places that are considered to be haunted and can serve as the resource for the dark tourism. A few of them are listed as: the first is D'Souza Chawl in Mahim, Mumbai. The chawl in Mumbai is considered haunted and believed that the women fell into water and no one saved her. Local people have witnessed a woman lurking around the well and nearby area few years back. The another is the GB block, Meerut. GB block in Meerut is defamed for various paranormal activities. Despite being a popular zone, there are a lot of strange sightings. Then comes the Dumas Beach, Surat in Gujarat. The beach is known for its dark sand, and it is said that one can hear spooky sounds during the sunset and the night. Further, it is believed that people will also disappear who wander on this beach. Then comes the Jatinga in Assam. The place is known for the mass suicide of birds between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the month of September and October. The next is the Ramoji Film City in Hyderabad. Then the Raj Kiran Hotel, Lonavala in Maharashtra. The hotel rooms are supposed to produce haunted sounds during nights. The guests also cry out for help, but nobody responds at night, and rooms will have no reality also appear to realize during the night time. Then next is the Sanjay Van near Kutub Institutional Area, New Delhi. Lady dressed in a white sari disappears suddenly around the cremation ground, makes it haunted. Then Doe Hill in Darjeeling. The Doe Hill boarding school in Kursong of Darjeeling for girls is known for spooky and the ghost sightseeing activities. Then Agrasen Ki Baoli, Haley Road, New Delhi. Then another one is the Bengal swamps in West Bengal, Alea Ghost Lights. Then another spot is the Fern Hill Hotel in Uti. The Fern Hill Hotel is now shut down after reoccurrence of haunted events, gained much name after spooky incidents during the shooting of the movie Raz. Then Mukesh Mills, the mill was shut down in 1980 after a sudden fire outbreak, and it serves as an excellent location for shooting different haunted movies. The another is the National Library, Kolkata. Besides rich collection of the books, the National Library, Kolkata is also known for its ghost stories. At the time of its renovation, 12 laborers died. Sanjay Gandhi National Park, Mumbai is another place. South Park Cemetery in Kolkata. It is built in the year 1767. Then Writers Building, Kolkata. Then Bombay Supreme Court is another building. A tortured soul is believed to haunt every unknown entity in the corridor, restricting their entry. This happened since last 30 years whenever a murder trial is taking place. Then Tower of Silence, Mumbai. It is actually a Parsi cemetery situated near the Malabar Hills. Parsis have their rituals of leaving the bodies of their dead on the roof of a tower to be fed by the vultures. Even the imagination of those scenes would bring shivers to your body. It is also believed that there is the paranormal incidents occurring in the Grand Parari Towers in Mumbai happened due to the spectral forces emanating from this cemetery. The another one comes the Malcha Mahal, New Delhi. The paranormal activities of Malcha Mahal are famous among the most haunted stories in the city of Delhi. The palace is situated in the forest area behind the Buddha garden. Reporters, forest officers, or locals all keep a fair distance and think twice before entering the premises. The warning related to the hound dogs and trespassers being gunned down also scares people of this ground, since the government gave the authority to shoot down anyone who proves to be treated to the property. The another place is the Three Kings Church, Goa. Then comes Kalpalli Cemetery, Bangalore. This place has a tragic and violent past. The place belonged to the Vas family and was occupied by Dwais Vas and Veera Vas, the two daughters of the renowned lawyer Mr. Vas. On day in 2001, Dwais was stabbed to death in her own home by an unknown assailant. She was later buried. There was well and Veera moved out after some time. The place is in ruins and has been haunted ever since, and the spirit of Dwight is supposed to still linger in the hillways. Multiple teams scouting for paranormal activities have confirmed the presence of negative energy and disturbances there. Then comes the Savoy Hotel, Mussoorie. The beautiful little hill station of the Mussoorie has its fair share of the local legends, but ghost of Lady Garmet Orme takes the cake. She was found dead in one of the rooms of the Savoy Hotel under mysterious circumstances and is supposed to haunt it ever since. Some says that she was poisoned and the medicine was discovered in her some medical medicine bottles. The incident created quite sensation and Agatha Christie's bestseller The Mysterious Affair at Styles is supposedly based on this. Such a rich history ensures that it always finds a mention in the list of the most haunted destinations of India. Hotel attendants and guests often complained of the lady in white walking and the hallways and the strange noises and disturbances coming from the room where she was murdered. Khairatabad Science College, Hyderabad is the next in the list. There is an old, inconspicuous Tarapuri building just off the Khairatabad flyover, which used to be a science college. The building fell into ruin and was abandoned, but the dead bodies in the biology labs were not disposed properly. People who pass by at the night have often cited walking skeletons, sparks, and disturbing noises. A guard was stationed there by the government, but he died mysteriously, adding to the scariness of the place. Locals avoid this place and believe it to be one of the most haunted in the country. Then comes what could the initiatives that can be taken to promote the dark tourism in the country. There are numerous initiatives that can be taken to ensure the growth of dark tourism in India. However, a few of them have been enumerated as the first is the identification of the various places that can act as potential resource for the dark tourism across different states. Then development of literature covering those sites. The third is the preparation of the tour packages to these dark tourism sites. Then designing of the tour itineraries and selling them to the different consumers is the next thing. Then installation of the warnings and do's and don'ts at these different sites. Then marketing and promotion of the different dark tourism sites through both print and electronic media. In the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this module. After reading this module, the students, you might have been familiar with the dark tourism concept in India. There are numerous places that can serve as a dark tourism sites if identified and promoted properly. Besides historical places, there are some of the mysterious places that are supposed to be haunted. Such places can also serve as the dark tourism sites. The students also have known about the different initiatives that can be taken to promote the dark tourism sites in India. Thank you.